Well, sweet. Let's go ahead. I guess we can't start for one more minute. That way, all those people that are coming in late aren't getting shafted by us starting a minute early. All right, guys, let's dive in. Let's go through just some of you guys and see kind of where you're at in your business and what you're trying to accomplish from going through this course. So Carter, you're up in Evanston, selling quite a bit of real estate up there. You're the dominant agent. Yeah. So tell us kind of where you're at in your business, how many years, what your production level is, and what you want to get out of the course.
So this is my third year in real estate. I've been doing all right. I hope to do better every year, but this year has definitely been a slower year than most. My first year I did 20 transactions. Last year I did 30. This year I've done 17 already. And yeah, I'm just looking to expand my toolbox a little bit, especially as a agent who's a newer agent who essentially, in the terms of real estate agents, newer agents are normally buyers agents, and which is fine right now. I'd rather prefer buyers than sellers right now because at least I know I'm going to get paid.
Right.
But I just try and, yeah, they're the ones with the money right now. So the sellers are just waiting for it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, only my third year in real estate, looking to just be more comfortable doing door knocking or doing something. And I've tried it before, but it was a shit show.
No worries.
It was like,
James, dive in. How many years you've been doing real estate? What's your current volume?
Right now, so this is like my second year right now. So I just closed my my fourth deal this year.
Great.
So and then yeah, I'm about to hit escrow probably next week. So probably hit my number 5 before the end of this month. I'm project. Hopefully, of course, I wish I could do better. Trying to find ways to get me to get me going again. I kind of lost my spark a little bit during the first half of the year, but now I'm just trying to get more back into it again now. So
great. Well, James, welcome. Jonathan, dude, I love your office except for that Remax sign in the back. We got to change that, but I love the office other than that, brother.
What's up? How you doing, Duane?
Good, man. Tell me your volume. How long you been doing real estate?
I'm actually in my second year.
Great.
I decided to go full time actually this year in March. So I quit my corporate job after 9 years. And yeah, this year I think I closed 32 transactions.
Awesome. Sick, dude. Yeah. That's great.
32 transactions. Most of them comes from my sphere, my friends, my family, my reference from past clients. Social media as well. So I want to add a touch of prospecting, cold calling, or door knocking. I'm doing everything but that. So I'm like, man, why not?
Dude, let's get you up to 100 transactions. We can do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not that hard to scale once you get going. Jace, dive in and tell us how much volume. He is in the LA area. Not LA, I'm lying. He's up in San Diego. No, geez. Holy cow. San Jose.
Silicon Valley.
There we go.
Yeah. As far as, numbers are concerned, you usually go on the volume with, the total dollar volume rather than transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Where up here, we're about 1.5 million to 2 million our average sale price.
Love it.
So yeah, and so if I could do 20, 30 transactions, I'd probably be retired in a couple of years. But so yeah, basically sales volume, try to hit 20 million a year. And that's the goal. So
money
minimum.
Money. Well, thanks for being here, Jace. Sunil, tell us where you're at and how much volume you're currently closing. Let's rock through these quick so we can get some training going. Junior, where are you at? How much volume are you closing? Nothing. Taylor, where are you at and how much volume are you closing? I know Taylor, he's here in Salt Lake.
I am in Salt Lake City. I've probably closed, I don't know, around 2 million so far this year, and just trying to double that by the end of the year.
Awesome. Noah, where are you at and how much volume are you closing?
I actually just kind of started in real estate a couple months ago.
Sick.
I haven't for sale yet.
Well, dude, you're ready. You're prepped. We're going to put you on the pace that I hit. I hit 10 my first month, so we're going to get you going that way. So get ready. Dane, how much volume you sold and how long you been in the business?
Yeah, I just got my license 2 weeks ago, but I got my first deal under contract last week.
Yeah.
So, fun.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah.
What market are you in, Dane?
I'm here. I'm nearby.
Sick.
I'm in Utah.
Sick. All right, guys, well, let's dive in. Tell me this whole course, I want to be about you guys. I want this to be about what you guys want to learn. We can role play. We can do whatever you guys want. We can dive into strategies. We can dive into markets. We can dive into whatever you want. So basically, I want to start off with questions. One of the biggest things that I'm seeing right now in the industry is so many people are going out. 50% of realtors are leaving the industry by the end of 2025. So for you new guys, you're coming at a rough time. A lot of numbers are down. People are sucking. Social media's not cranking. Friends and family's not cranking. Cold calling is dying. It's falling completely off the face of the earth with AI coming in, cranking out 1,800 calls a minute. So tell me what you guys are struggling with, what questions you have, and let's just make this an open forum, then we'll dive into some training. Don't be shy, guys. Get your cameras up. Let's chat. Let's have fun with this.
My biggest struggle is no soliciting signs. I feel like everyone, every single door in all of town, like, I don't know who put all of them up, but they're all the same stupid yellow no soliciting signs.
Okay.
That's my biggest. I go around doors and it's just like one after another, after another, after another.
Carter, what are you selling?
Real estate.
Okay, when you knock on that door,
selling anything.
are you selling them
What?
something? What's the purpose of you
No.
knocking on that door?
Giving information, advertising.
Cool. So you're there to provide information to somebody, right?
Yes.
Have you ever mentioned that as you knock on that door to say, hey, my name's Carter. I've been working with a lot of neighbors because the market's crazy. Are you familiar with what the market's doing right now? And literally provide them value. If they say, have you seen the signs? Like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I work with a lot of people so they know what the real estate market is doing and actually provide them values. Have you heard what the neighbor just sold up their home for up the street? Do you know how much your home is worth? So I've just been educating a lot of people on the values in their neighborhood. If that's not something you're interested in, I won't share it and I'll move on to the next door.
Perfect.
But in reality, you're not there to pitch them something that you're going to have installed that day. You're not going to spray their bugs. You're not going to put a satellite dish on the house. You're not putting solar on the house. You're not installing an alarm system. You're there to educate them so they make the best decision for them and their family, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest problem people have when they go up against no soliciting, number one, you knock on that door and now you're already sheepish going, dude, these guys are going to come out. They're going to yell at me. And you're already on the defense. Don't be on the defense. Be confident. In reality, most of the people that have no soliciting signs, Carter, didn't put them up.
Yeah. They look like they're all from the 60s. They're
Yeah.
like these stupid yellow ones, and every house has them.
You got it. I get so much crap on my YouTube video. Did you guys see that one about no soliciting? I have all these people that are not real estate agents just hating on me. I probably have, oh goodness, probably 10,000 comments about Duane, you're the worst. You're worse than a predator. I mean, just bashing on me. But in the scale of this, and you can choose, it depends on how thick your skin is. You can choose whether you want to knock those doors or not. If you've got thin skin, it's going to hurt your ego. Don't knock them. Move to the next door. But if you're thin, your skin's thick, and you can literally knock on that door and not feel bad if they do get mad at you, then knock on the door. In my career of doing that, the majority of the time, if you open the door and you have a big smile on your face and say, hey, I saw the sign, I'm not here to sell you anything. I do real estate and I'm providing values in the neighborhood of what's happening. How long have you guys owned your house? Are you guys familiar with how much equity you have in your home? Is this your forever home? And just literally start a conversation. Most people will not get pissed off at you. And if they do, the attitude I have when I walk away from that door is, man, they must have a pretty crappy life to yell at a guy just going around doing his job, just spreading some good cheer, man. You have a bunch of equity in your house. Isn't that sick? You know, and then just move on to the next door. Okay.
All right.
Other struggles. What else are you guys seeing?
I think I just get like a lot of people who just don't answer their door. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just on to the next one or whatever, but I feel like maybe nowadays with, I don't know, video doorbells and that kind of thing, they just don't bother coming to the door. So I feel like I knock on a bunch of doors, but don't get a lot of answers kind of thing.
Okay. So a couple things to do with that. Yes, with doorbell cameras, it makes it hard, folks. And it all depends on, are they motion sensor doorbell cameras or are we causing our own death by pushing that button? If they have a doorbell camera, do not push the button. If it doesn't trigger when you walk up, do not push the button. If you do push the button, you've got to create something catchy enough to cause them to come to the door. Okay. So if it triggers when you walk up to that doorstep, the first thing you're going to do is just engage the elephant in the room. Hey man, I noticed I just came up on your doorbell camera. My name's Taylor Call, and I'm working with a lot of the neighbors, talking to them about the crazy real estate market and the values that you guys have made in your neighborhood. Is now a good time for me to talk to you? They're like, no, now doesn't work. Cool. When are you going to be able to come to the door? I'd love to get face-to-face with you and show you some of the neighbors that we've been working with and or what properties have sold in the neighborhood and the values they've gotten out of them. Try to get them to the door. Schedule that appointment. Hey, I'm going to be in the neighborhood all night. Are you guys going to be back around 7 o'clock tonight, 8 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock tonight? Okay. Your appointments you should be setting is always after knocking hours. It's one of the biggest faux pas I think that we have as real estate agents is the majority of real estate agents, they think their business hours stop at 5 o'clock. If you're a door-to-door person, holy cow, guys, that's when you find people starting to get home from work. So if you want to go big in door-to-door real estate, you honestly shouldn't start until 2 o'clock and you should go till 10 o'clock at night. Those are your prospecting hours. And if you will do that religiously, you will never worry about money again. I say that all the time. You will never worry about money again if you will do that. The problem we have, and even with agents that are in my coaching program on my team, I ask them to report their numbers. And it's so funny because I'll hear, oh, we hit 150, 250 people we talked to this week. It's like, cool. How many hours did you knock? And the majority of them, when they say, oh, I was crazy busy, I worked really hard last week, it's 3 to 4 hours a day of prospecting. Like, what did you do with the rest of your time, folks? You know, a full-time job is 8 hours a day. And if you want to kill it, most business owners, Noah, you're a business owner now, brother. Most business owners, to get their business cranking and started, Dane, that's you too, brother. You got to work 14, 15 hours a day to go build that business to a point that you're going to be able to crank it. Now, the rest of you guys that have experience, I put in 14, 15 hours a day when I first started. If your business isn't repeat and referral client based, you got to go build it that way. It took me 2 years of constant grind, like cranking it to be able to get to that point. And so if you're not there, Jonathan, you're cranking really hard, but if you're not there, then dump, hot sauce on this thing and get it cranking. So you've got all these repeat and referral client base coming in, but you're not counting on any of those. All the ones you're going to take down are all those that you go hunt and kill. I've got a client right now, one of the guys in my program. He's like, dude, I'm killing it right now. I've got 13 listings and I'm working with like 7 buyers. And I was like, cool. How fast are your listings selling? He's like, oh, they're not moving at all. And I was like, well, then you got nothing. was like, out of those 7 buyers, how many are looking at houses today? He's like, well, we got 2 of them. The other ones are just really picky. And I was like, okay, so you got 2 people you're working with. What are you doing? Where's the rest of your time going? How are you going to build that business? I don't care if you got 13 listings. If you're in a crazy buyer's market, those listings mean nothing. Nothing. I was like, so you got to turn your business into cranking hard to go find 15 more buyers, because that's what's selling right now in most markets. I do have people like in Minnesota. I've got people in a buyer's market. New York, Sod, he's still on here. Sod's in a very neutral seller's buyer's market. So anything he hits on the market's gone pretty quick. But guys, you got to learn your market and shift to the dynamic you're in and be able to continue to crank volume. All I care about is closed volume. And I feel like every person in real estate should be putting someone under contract every week. Is that the mentality you guys are in? Are you guys building that business to the point you're selling something every week? If you're not, your mindset's not there, and you got to get around people that are. Okay. Sod up in New York has put, I think he's sitting on 12 or 13 in the last 8 weeks of under contracts. That is what you should be expecting to hit and doing every week. You should be having somebody hit that market, because that means money in your pocket. Having a listing doesn't pay you. Having buyers doesn't pay you unless they're under contract and you can move on to the next client. So in reality, you've got to be working nonstop to have those under contracts hit today. Today, not tomorrow. Too many real estate agents are looking for tomorrow business. And they're like, oh, I got this huge pipeline. I'm working with all these people. I was like, so what are you doing to disrupt the market and put someone under contract today? And that's really what I want to ask you guys. What things are you doing to put people under contract today? I just wrote a book, you guys, and it's being published right now. It's called Now Business. It's my second book. My other one's this one, Power of the Knock. But my second book right now is called Now Business. And the focus of Now Business is this. When you knock on that freaking door, it is not to set an appointment. I had one of my guys in my coaching program, I kept beating that into his head. And he's like, but I don't get it. So he gets up, knocks on this door. They open the door. He gives his pitch. And she's like, yeah, we've been looking to sell pretty quick. He's like, awesome. When is a good time for me to come back and sit down with you guys and go through a marketing plan to help you make the best decision? The homeowner looks at him and she goes, I'm free right now. He goes in the house and takes the listing right then. And he goes, I did not realize it until I walked away how stupid I've been, because I'm making them tell me they're ready right now. And I'm trying to schedule appointments. And once we tweaked his mindset to where he should knock on that door and close them at the door right then in front of them, that's when his business took off. Now he's closed over 20 million in volume so far this year. He's currently got 10 under contract and it's just cranking. Junior, it is good to see you. But bottom line is you got to get to where your mentality is closed now. Now, does that mean you should be signing paperwork on the doorstep? Trevor, I know you're driving, don't wreck. Do you do paperwork yourself, brother?
Do I do paperwork myself?
Yep. Who does your paperwork?
I've got a transaction coordinator that handles my transactions, but I've been the one writing the offers. So.
My man, why are you writing the offers? I do not see secretary at all on your shirt.
I don't feel like a secretary, but I act like one sometimes.
Well, you can't, brother, because you're worth more than that. Look at that baller car. See his big sunroof? Bottom line is, so what does it mean, Trevor, for you to close? When you go knock on someone's door, what does it mean for you to get a close right then?
It means sitting down, going through their house, figuring out what their pain points are, and showing them how you're the solution.
I like it. I like it. Are you trying to take the listing right then and there?
I haven't been knocking as much as I should be, and part of it's because I struggle with knowing exactly where to knock and having a plan implemented around it. Like, I feel like I need to know. Obviously, knocking is where it's at, but I need to know kind of the what to do next, a system that it plugs into. I'm struggling with. I have a CRM, but it's my own internal systems, my SOP, standard operating procedures around it.
Love
I
it.
struggle with that right now.
I can help you with that, Trevor.
Yeah.
I've got a door knocking app. In fact, anybody that's on here, if you guys want a couple free months, text me after and I'll hook you up with the door knocking app I just built. But it's for door knocking 100%, CRM, everything built on that. But Trevor, I'm going to tweak your systems a little bit, your SOPs. I want to tweak these a little bit. If I knock on that door, I do not want to go in their house. I don't want to go walk through their house because I'm going to tell you what happens. Even though Dane's a good looking dude, the minute he knocks on their door and they say, come on in, soon as he gets inside their house, oftentimes they're going, freak, what am I doing with Dane in my house? How do I get him out of my house now? So their mindset shifts from conversion to, I just let a stranger in my house to walk through my house and look at my house. I don't even know this person. And their mindset shifts to how do I get them out, and that you don't convert as well. Okay. So when I talk about a conversion, my conversion, Trevor, is through a buy. You're always going to get somebody way quicker if you can get them excited about buying real estate. Everybody loves new and shiny. Even Taylor. Taylor would love that new and shiny car. The minute he starts looking at that new and shiny car, he's going to go buy it. So the minute you start talking to them about why the best time to move is now, and get them to start sending you houses, there's my close. I want them to take initiative. I want them to move the ball forward, Trevor, because if they're moving the ball forward, I don't have to chase them. I'm not after chasing clients. If you want to do business with me, I'm going to wow you at the doorstep. I'm going to get you excited about buying, and I'm going to get you to send me 3 houses that day. If you send me 3 houses, you're now worthy for me to spend time with you. Go ahead, Trevor.
That's the buy-in.
That's the buy-in.
Of the buy-in.
Yeah, if you're not going to buy into me, I'm not going to waste my time with you. Now, let me ask you this. James, Kai, Cleo, want to ask you guys this question. How many people, after I say, send me 3 houses, they commit to do that, actually do it? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
10%.
Probably about 30%. So if you get 3 of them that say they will do that, 1 of them will. Okay. And so what do you do with those other people? Trevor's got an SOP set up. Trevor's now going to pass that on to his VA. His VA is now going to log into his Real DTD door knocking app, and he's going to start hounding those people for homes. Okay. He's not going to hound them anymore because he's on to the next. He's on to the next doors. He's going to go close more doors. He's going to get in front of more people. Now, one thing I've learned over time, as you continue to engage with all those people, no one knocks doors. So there's 0 competition. James, even if you're in California, there's 0 competition for door knockers because no one does it. They want to be the glamour Beverly Hills social media people. Right? And Noah and Jonathan can pull off that, but most of us can't. We don't get to be the glamour shots like Junior. I got to tell you guys, this is pretty funny. Junior was at the gym working out so hard today, he ripped out his pants, lifting so much weight. Mr. Football himself. The bottom line is, guys, you have to get out there and grind really hard, and it's a numbers game. So the more people you can get in front of, the more people you can make commitments with, the more people you can connect with, the more you're going to close. Now, I found Joe, one of my coaching clients, said this. He goes, Duane, I'm finding more people reach back out to me within a week and a half than send me homes. He's like, I'm picking up more deals right now based off of that because I'm not going in their house. I'm presenting better than I ever have, and I'm asking the right questions, and then I leave them. And then they reach back out to me and say, hey, can you go list this house for me? Can you go take care of this for me? And that's where they're finding the crazy boost of their business. He's like, I'm listing so many houses right now. And that's really what it boils down to, is asking the right questions, impressing them, and then moving on. Trevor, we got to get you a TC that writes your offers for you, though, brother. You don't do paperwork. Okay?
I like that.
I will not hire a TC. That's one of my interviewing questions. Do you write offers and addendums? If you do not do that, you're not hired. Okay. And also, as we talk about TCs, they should do everything. My TC sends out an email that says, congratulations, you're under contract. I will be your point of contact from this point forward. So I don't even talk to my clients after I get them under contract unless there's a problem with the inspection or a problem with the appraisal. I'm going to negotiate that and move on. There's no way you can build a massive business without having good systems in place. And I've been able to have up to 42 under contract at one time personally. And still be able to do my business. Takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours a day by simply having the right systems in place. So if you're going to go big, Trevor, fire that TC. Let's get you a new one. Okay. All right. Next, that was a long response to whatever you guys were talking about. What's the next step? What's the other thing you guys are struggling with?
One thing that I've been like kind of having questions about is just like what type of information should I know before I go and knock doors?
I love it. I love it. Noah, guess what? It doesn't matter, right? I'm going to tell you my first month when I went out to do real estate, and I'm going to be very honest, and you guys are going to think down on me of this, but I was the dude that hit play on the real estate courses and went outside and worked in the yard and came back in and was like, oh crap, I got to pass a quiz. And then I would fail the quiz 2 or 3 times and then finally pass and then hit play again and go back outside. So I failed my real estate course the first time, went back the very next day and passed it because I knew which questions they were going to ask, and I went and studied. So I knew nothing about real estate. I had invested, but what I knew is I knew how to sell. So Noah, I don't care what you know. If you can learn to get people to talk and to give you direction, you can close everybody regardless of what you know at the market. So my first month in real estate, I sold 10 houses. And I did not know my head from a hole in the wall when it came to real estate. In fact, I lived in the broker's office, Trevor, because I didn't have a TC. And I screwed up every bit of paperwork you could possibly screw up. And so I took month 2 off, didn't even do real estate, went back and worked full-time selling alarms door to door. Month 3, sold 14 houses, and then screwed everything up again. And so I took month 3 off again, or 4 off again. So bottom line is, no, we can teach you how to get out and close people just by getting in front of them, asking them the right questions. What is the most important thing that people want to know right now? What do you think, Noah? What's the most important thing you could take to people? You're on mute.
Probably either their home value or what the interest rates are looking like.
Okay, why does that matter?
Well, if their home value is like more valuable than when they bought it, and they'd have more equity in their house, and they could potentially use that equity for other things.
Okay. So Dane, were you at my house the other day with Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was with AJ.
You look familiar. Okay, so talk to me about this. So tell me what people want to know. Noah's right, but it boils down to one thing. What is it?
And it's what's in it for them, right?
Yeah. And what do most people care about?
Cash.
Money.
On hand, cash in
Money.
hand, yeah.
That's it, you guys. Money. If you can show them that today is the best day for them to buy a house, that's all you have to do. Is today is the best day for them to be able to engage in real estate. So one of the number one questions that I'm going to use to qualify somebody when I'm knocking on doors, you got to memorize this, Noah. This is going to help you make a lot of money, brother. If I could help you save a ton of money by doing this sooner, would you consider it? If I could help you save a ton of money by doing this sooner, would you consider it?
So that's kind of another thing that I've been like, I can't fully wrap my head around is like, why is it always better to do it sooner?
Good question. Good question. I love this. Dane, you're smiling. Tell me, why should he buy real estate sooner?
From a agent standpoint, the reason you're going to want the homeowner to transact sooner is because, in my opinion, is that people often don't change or don't act unless prompted to do so. So if you get a deal in hand, right? It's like a bird in the hand versus two in the bush. It's like if you get someone to do it now, they're going to do it. If you get someone to say they'll do it in 2 months, they're probably never going to do it.
And another thing, real estate's always gone up, always gone up. I mean, I bought a commercial or a residential property 4 years ago. Am I glad I bought it 4 years? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. If I'm buying that same property today, it's 4 times the price right now. So why not now?
Love it. Love it. So Dane went into to the sales side, and Dane's 100% right. If they do not transact today, they will not transact most likely. If you can't convince them, chances of you getting that appointment later and closing them it's not going to happen. So, but from a client standpoint, and that's what we've got to convince, we've got to take the salesman brain from Dane, because the minute the person behind the door sees Dane wanting to close them so he gets a commission check, they're done, right? So you've got to ask them enough questions to show them, Noah, how they can benefit by buying sooner. And you cannot come across pushy, salesy, aggressive. Hey, you got to transact today if you want to sell a lot of real estate. You got to be so cool as a cucumber and simply walk them through that process. And that's the case with any sell. I don't have our car salesman in here, but I've got a guy in our program that is a freaking beast when it comes to car sales. And he's transitioning to real estate. I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes, brother. You can't push us like a car salesman. And he's making 500 grand a year selling cars. Kid's a beast. But you cannot do sales at a high level without going in slow and walking them through the process. So no, I'm going to treat you like a real estate agent. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that I would ask a client. So I want you to unmic and let's just walk you through this. Noah, what has real estate done over time, gone up or down?
Up.
Why?
Because I think generally with inflation and everything, the housing prices have just kind of always gone up. And I guess I'm not really too sure about the supply and demand because they're building a ton of houses, but in general, they do go up.
Cool. So Noah, let me ask you this. Are we still creating more land?
No.
What happened when the land supply disappears? What happens?
The value of it goes up.
Right? Think of California. I mean, those guys are not falling off into the ocean or anything, but there's no place else they can build. So what are prices in California?
Super high.
Super
I don't
high.
live there. Or
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we creating more families or more babies being born or more people getting married?
Yes.
So does that mean there's more people looking to buy a house?
Yes.
What will real estate do over time then?
Well, I mean, since there's more families and more people looking to buy, it will probably become more scarce, less available. So probably go up.
Crazy. So if you have an asset that you know is going to increase in value, when do you think the best time for you to buy it is?
As soon as possible.
Noah, dude, you're a laydown. So Noah, let me ask you this. As we walk through this, rates are pretty high right now. How many people do you think are looking to buy a house today?
I'm not really sure.
Let me ask you. I mean, would you go out and buy a house at a 7% interest rate?
Probably not.
How come?
Well, I would want to wait until it gets a little bit lower. I know they were lower before.
No, you're spot on, brother. How many people think just like you that they want to wait for it to come down?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I probably just wouldn't be able to afford it.
No, I hear
right
you.
now.
I hear you, Noah. A lot of people are thinking that exact same thing, right? But when you look at this, has our real estate prices gone down? Are they crashing?
No.
Which means there's still enough people buying with these high rates, right?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is going to happen when they do come down?
I'll probably buy.
Yeah, right. And how many other people do you think will jump in and start buying, Noah?
I'm not sure. Maybe hard to quantify how many people are waiting.
Well, do you think you're a pretty smart guy, right?
I like to think so.
Right? How many people are smart like you thinking, hey, if we can get them to drop down to that 5% mark, I would jump in and buy today?
Probably a good amount.
Okay. Now, remember back when we had COVID, when we had those 2% rates, what was the housing market doing nationwide?
Yeah, it was booming.
Okay.
Said,
Absolutely. It's going crazy, right? How much over list price were people getting?
I honestly, I couldn't tell you an exact number.
You're too young. You're too young. Let's just say 40 grand. Okay. 40 grand. Now, Noah, what's the difference between a 6.5% interest rate and a 4% interest rate on a payment?
I'm not sure.
Well, let me just ask you this. Noah, your first house, how expensive is it going to be? What's the price point? You go in baller status and getting that 1.2, $1.4 million house?
No, probably not. Probably like 300.
300. No, that's good. It's a good starter.
Yeah.
So 300 grand, 2% interest rate. Let's say it's $1,000 a month. Does that seem pretty high? Everybody's going to shake their head because they know that's astronomically high, right?
For what?
2% interest rate difference on a $300,000 house.
Oh,
right? So I'm saying it's $1,000 a month higher to buy it today than it would be when it got to 4%. No, when do you think we'll come down?
Sorry, you cut out.
When do you think we're going to come down to that lower interest rate?
Probably 2 years, I would say.
I agree with you. I think you're spot on there. So if we said $1,000 a month for 2 years, what's 1,000 times 24?
1,000 times 24, 24,000.
Dude, that was good math. I love it. Okay. So 24 grand. Now, what do you think we could do right now in the real estate market? Do you think we could offer lower than list price?
Probably.
Could we get closing costs covered?
Definitely. I've seen it.
Okay. Now, let's say in 2 years, what's the average appreciation rate right now in real estate? How much is it going up per year?
But in my market, it's 1% a year.
Okay. That's okay. Let's take that 1%. Okay. In 2 years, you're going to gain $6,000 in equity. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Cool. So now let me ask you this. How much do you think we could negotiate off that $300,000 house?
Probably 15 in closing costs.
15,000 in closing costs?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay. Now in 2 years, you're going to be able to buy that same place. We're now at a 4% interest rate. How much are you paying for that $300,000 house?
Well, it goes up 1% per year. That's math into my calculator.
That's 306,000, just 1% per year for 2 years. And then what?
And then I don't know, I guess it kind of depends on what happens in the market, if there's a lot more demand or not.
Okay.
But probably more.
Okay. Well, for a 4%, how much more do you think there's going to be?
Oh yeah. Probably a lot more.
Okay. What would you guess you'd end up paying for that $300,000 house?
Probably like 325, 330.
Okay. Let's say 325. Then you also have the $6,000 you've missed, right? You have the $15,000 you would have gotten for closing costs because you're probably not going to get now, right?
Yeah.
So that's a difference of $41,000. No, would you trade $41,000 for $24,000?
No way.
How come you're doing that now?
That's a good question.
And guys, I went crazy conservative. I actually think you'll be way over 325. I actually think it'll go up higher than 1%. And I think you could probably negotiate a little bit better. But if you use a negotiation cost versus appreciation, plus equity, all of that, every time, you guys, it's going to be a huge win. And most people that I tell you to knock, so Trevor wants to know about what areas. I'm going to send Trevor to go knock condos and townhomes. I want him selling that $300,000 to $400,000 house. Why? Because they have to move. A lot of those people bought them as a starter, just like Noah, young, wet behind the ears. They're like, oh man, let's get into that first one. And then he's like, dude, I'm balling now. I'm selling real estate. I've sold 40 homes this year. I'm not living in a condo. Dude, the chicks will dig me buying this nice 4,000 square foot home. I'm going to go buy this place. So he upgrades, they sell. The turnover is fast on condos and townhomes. So there's lots of turnover. So you want to get in those starter homes, turnover homes. And so when they're selling a 300 and they're buying a 5, that's $800,000 in real estate. Now you take that same $500,000 home, even if you did a 1%, Noah, which is crazy low, and you said 1% on 500 grand, that's going to add up quicker than that 300. So help them see how they can save a ton of money by moving sooner. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've made over $6 million in equity on my 68 properties I've bought just in the last 5 years. 6 mil, guys. When should we buy a house? When should you guys invest in real estate? When should you start selling enough houses? You should start buying multifamilies and commercial and all these other properties. Carter just said he quadrupled his money on the one he bought, right? So it's the same theory. You guys know if you go buy real estate today, you're going to make a ton of money on it because you're the experts in the field. You've got to help your clients see that exact same thing without you being pushy. Make sense? Does that help you, Noah, know what to say? It's all about the Benjamins, brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely.
Another thing I always ask, James, this is going to hit home for you, brother, and Jace too. Hey, if you could buy in San Francisco Bay 20 years ago, would you have? Everybody better be shaking their head because they would have made, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 buying that long ago. You should. I'm going to give you another example. I bought a piece of land, commercial real estate land, picked it up for $525,000, held it for 2 years. It's going to build a brokerage on it and ended up selling it. Sold it for $1.4 million in 2 years. Guys, people should buy real estate. You should buy real estate. You got to get out and educate people to buy real estate. So if you're not doing that, that's the number one thing you need to do, Noah, on Doors. It's help people realize that right now is probably one of the best times to buy real estate ever. And Noah, just and a lot of you guys probably know this, we're short 7 million homes to keep up with supply and demand. And Noah's thinking, man, they're building everywhere. They are. But supply and demand, we are short 7 million homes right now in the United States. So as soon as these rates come down and everybody jumps back in and starts buying, it's going to explode. There's going to be a huge housing frenzy, and all of us are going to make a lot of money as long as we know how to get out and get in front of people. Okay, next question. What else, guys? Dane, how many questions did I ask Noah, by the way, as we went through that role play?
Probably asked him like 25. It's like a lot of questions.
How many questions should we be asking on the door?
A lot.
Honestly, your whole pitch should be questions. That's it. If you ever get to a point where you're telling them about the market, what it's doing, why it's doing it, and you're becoming an information source where you're just diarrhea of the mouth and just tell them everything, telling is not selling, Brian Tracy says. So get into a habit of guiding them through your questions to a close every time. Okay. What else, guys? What else are you guys seeing?
Duane, I got a question.
Yeah.
Earlier you spoke about that there was a mindset shift. Somebody at the Doors went from an appointment mindset over to now business mindset.
Yes.
When it comes to this asking questions, rapid fire, sell anything, any product, any service. What is it that we're looking for in a mindset shift in order for us to be able to do what you do?
So you've got to be able to get them to bring the value to themselves. If you don't help them see the value for themselves, they will not buy. Because what happens is they start thinking Dane only cares about my commission. He only cares about him getting that check. He knows if he doesn't close me today, he's not getting paid. So you've got to steer the whole conversation, no matter what product it is, about how it benefits the client at that moment, right then, right there, to where they're ready to move forward themselves without thinking about making a penny. That's the big difference in mindset shift you have to have in order to be crazy successful. If you make it all about them, and you should know how to close them, because in reality, if you ask open-ended questions, guys, they're lifting up their shirt so you can punch the crap out of their belly until they fall over. I mean, they're telling you exactly how to close them. You just have to let them talk. Make sense, Fabian?
I don't feel like if it clicks,
Okay.
to be quite frank.
Okay. So what do you think you're missing? You've been out and done some door knocking. What are you missing?
I don't know. I feel like I'm thinking as I'm at the door, I'm thinking about all these things about it take them to like a soft close, guide them. Where am I taking this? The paycheck. If I don't get this door, I mean, it's a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at.
So the one thing you should be focused on, Fabian, and this will help clarify it. The one thing you should be focused on is getting them to see the value of buying a house today. That's it. That literally should be your only focus of how can I make them feel like today is the best day for them to get into real estate, to transact, to upgrade, to invest. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. That is your number one prerogative when you knock on that door. And they have to feel that.
But that could be that mindset shift that you're talking about. That could be for any product, even if I was like trying to sell like Stanley cups.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with the Stanley Cup, what do I need to help them feel like is the best decision for them? Own a Stanley Cup.
Okay.
I mean, are you guys drinking throughout the day? What do you use as a product? Are you using a shaker bottle like this for your protein drink? Are you using a Stanley Cup? What cup are you using? Why is that important to you? How often are you filling it up? How long does it stay cold? You know, you can come up with a list of questions, you guys. It doesn't matter what the product is, but why I'm asking these questions, Fabian, is I'm creating a process that's going to allow them to see Stanley Cup as the best cup out there. And it's because it stays colder. It's because it's durable. A lot of them are spill proof. And that is the best cup on the market today. So why would you use anything else? And I'm going to ask them enough questions to help them understand that. My pitch isn't going to be, hey, Fabian, dude, you need to buy this cup. Because if I don't sell 20 of these, there's no way I'm going to be able to provide bread, milk, and cheese for my family this week. They don't care.
Okay.
Fabian, they don't even care if you eat. In fact, Dane knows this because he's done door to door, but most people think you suck if you're a door-to-door salespeople. I mean, you're worthless. You don't make any money. That's why you go door to door. Guys, that's some of the best comments I've ever had in my life is when I have someone tell me, when am I going to get a real job? And I honestly am just dying inside going, if you knew I probably 15 times your income last year, as a door-to-door salesman, right? If you knew I made $1 million last year, you would fall over in your grave knowing I'm going door to door. Guys, it's not that hard to get out and get good at this, but it can't be about your commission. It's got to be about you helping them see the value. And once they see the value of whatever product you're selling and they buy it, guys, one of the best compliments I'll ever get in my life, and I love this, is this. We didn't plan on doing anything until Duane knocked on our door and brought us the idea and helped us understand how important it was. It's the best decision we've ever made. I hear them say that at Title all the time. All the time. That's the best compliment I can get, because that tells me I took someone that wasn't planning on doing anything to doing it, and they're so excited they did it and are so grateful. And then I get referrals like nuts because they know how good of a decision it was for them. So first thing I want to teach you, Fabian, is you got to believe that you are that guy and you are bringing that value and you're helping them make the best decision in your life. Once your mindset shifts to that, you're going to close 10 times better.
Man, you're so right. As I'm in between doors, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Like this door knocking thing, like, man, I should have just stayed in mortgages. I mean, I could have making 250, 300 grand just doing fucking mortgages. What am I doing?
Well, if you want to make 200 grand, there's tons of places you can do that. That's sissy sauce. Noah's here to make $1 million. Dane's here to make $1 million. Right? I don't think any of you guys, mortgage is what? Is it a passive income base or is it an aggressive? Go find what you want.
I mean, it could be both, right? I mean, you could do the hunting for basically anything, but most mortgage companies are like, they're going to feed you the leads.
Right. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys are in real estate for leads, you're going to go out of business. If you don't know how to hunt, you will be one of that 50% that's gone by the end of the year. And I don't care in what industry you're in, if you don't learn to start hunting, with Zillow getting into the real estate market, with all these people buying leads, the lead costs are going up through the roof. The leads suck. I don't know how many of you guys have done leads, but the conversion rate on leads right now is about 2%.
Zillow's gone downhill so bad this year.
Right?
So bad.
Guys, I'm telling you what, it doesn't matter what lead it is. They're going to get more expensive and they're going to suck worse and worse and worse. So if you don't learn to get out and get in front of people and learn how to close them, you are done. Mark my words. And with AI coming in, if you don't learn to counteract and get ahead of the game, you are done when it comes to real estate. And you've got to create that hunt mentality. That's the cool thing about door to doors. I have unlimited prospects and I can get in front of as many people as I want all day long. And I have the chance to close as many people as I want. That's what's going to get you to the next levels. Okay, other questions, guys? What else you got? What else were the struggles? What do you need help with? Trevor, I thought you were unmuting. No, you're pulling your camera down.
Yeah.
There you go. See how I got that question out of him? Look at it. He's got to pick
For
on
me,
him.
the biggest hurdle has just been being consistent, and it could be an excuse, but not knowing kind of the next steps in my, having a follow-up plan for like where I'm going to knock, what I'm doing with, I could improve also on the actual sales pitch and in being better with the questions. I probably just need to plug in on one of your programs.
Love it. Trevor, let me ask you this. Who's the highest real estate agent in your office?
Well, there's a guy that does 450 million in new construction every year in my office.
Okay.
He's the highest.
How close are you to him?
About 440 million away.
Okay. Who's closest to you? Who do you have to compete with?
Oh, my biggest competition is myself.
Okay. Good. And are you competing, or are you letting yourself off the hook?
I let myself off the hook far too often.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
So one thing I tell you, so when I first started real estate, you guys, I hired a coach. I didn't need this training as far as sales training. I'd done door to door for 7 years prior to that. But the one thing I needed was accountability. And it wasn't in sales. It was in business accountability, hitting my goals and not letting myself off the hook. I hired a coach within 3 months of being an agent. I had already sold 24 homes. Why? Because I needed to know my SOPs, Trevor. I needed to know what I didn't know to build this business faster than anybody else, to build a repeat and referral client base. I knew how to sell. So my coach was ruthless. She was an attorney, and she came in, dude, she was aggressive with me. She had built a business and sold it. But if I didn't hit every one of my goals per week, it was a $5,000 penalty that I had to write a check to the charity of my choice. $5K. So Trevor, there was no letting myself off the hook, because I easily could say, hey, I made 70 grand this month. I'm doing good. It's okay that I didn't hit this goal and this goal and this goal. But guess what? With her as a coach, I wasn't paying $5 grand. I wasn't losing that money. So I hit every goal. There's not once that I ever had that money slip through. But because I had her, I learned some very, very valuable lessons. It was, you got to go compete against yourself, Trevor, because that's me. I wanted to be the #1 real estate agent in the United States as a rookie agent my first year. And so I set my bar really high and I pushed till I got it. And I was the #1 rookie agent in the United States, sold 89 homes my first year. But the bottom issue is we let ourselves off the hook. You can't. So if you look at a coach, and I don't care which coaching program you go to, if you look at a coach, it costs you about 1 sale a year to have a coach. And if that coach isn't 10xing your business, 20xing your business, you should fire them. Absolutely fire them. But they should be helping you with all of those strategies, what you're doing, when you're at it. And I tell you to get around people that are winning. We have group chat messages in our groups, and I want people sending a text message every time they put one under contract. Because I want Carter to get pissed that he didn't get one under contract up in Evanston when Junior did down in Utah. I want James to get really pissed because he knows if he would have got one in California, it'd have been, $36,000 when Fabian put one under contract and he didn't. So create that environment. The other thing I tell you to do, Trevor, go create a freaking team around you of agents that you have to step up because they're looking up to you. If you're not doing those things, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. So good things to think about. But we're in the fourth quarter of the year. How many of you guys have built vision boards? Got one guy with a vision board. Do you guys know what a vision board is? It's a picture collage of what you're going to accomplish that year. How many of you have checked them off for the year? If you haven't, it's a huge no-no. You got 4 months left, and you've committed to yourself to hit every one of those goals. What are you going to do the last 4 months to make sure you hit them all? Huge things to think about. Okay, huge things to think about. But in reality, you should never, ever start a year without a complete vision board that's in front of your face all the time. All the time. That will help you accomplish more than anything else. Cleo says, I feel uncomfortable going out to knock alone. Cleo, can you show us your camera? There's my man. Cleo, why are you scared to go knock? Dude, you're a big dude. What's scaring you?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe sometimes I feel a bit uncomfortable going out. And maybe, I don't know, maybe perception.
You want me to give you some things to make you feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
Cleo, I hate door knocking. Hate it with a passion. Guess what, Cleo? I don't want to knock doors either. I don't. It was the worst thing in my life to do is knock doors. But there's not anything I can do that doesn't pay me better than that. So what do you got to do? You got to face a challenge in the eyes. So guess what I did? I'm going to give you a little trick that's going to help make you a lot of money. It's in your schedule. You've planned it. From 2 to 10 p.m., you're knocking doors. Okay? The minute you pull up in that neighborhood, you grab your phone, you set a 1 minute timer. What market are you knocking, Cleo?
I'm in Vancouver, Canada.
Canada. So you get freaking cold in the winter.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
So when you pull up in Vancouver and it's December, you're going to kick that heat on as high as it goes. You're going to stick your face right over that heater vent. You got 1 minute, brother. As soon as that alarm goes off, you shut the car off, you get out of the car, you close the door, and you're not back in your car until 10 o'clock. Same thing in the summer when it's really hot. I've knocked all over the United States. I've been in areas, Dallas, Texas. I remember one summer we were 115 plus humidity on top of that. We were hitting heat waves where it was like they're giving us extreme heat things. Don't be outside. Shh, whatever. We just carried a gallon jug of water with us as we went. And we knocked for 10 hours straight, right? But we would keep the AC on, hit that minute timer, and out. And you know what was so cool? People were like, it's too hot for you to be outside. Go ahead and step inside. We would get invited in all the time because they didn't want their AC going out as they held the door open for us. It's a mindset thing, but you got to overcome that if you're ever going to get good. The other thing I tell you to do is get around a bunch of door knockers. If you're the oddball out, which most door knockers in a brokerage is, like, you knock doors, you're an idiot, right? What, don't you want to make any money? You're going to be a door salesman, right? That mentality does not serve you. But if you get around a bunch of people that are crushing it door to door and everybody's doing it, I have guys in my text thread groups from our team that are sending, hey, on doors, where are you guys at? It's a consistent thing. Everybody else is doing it. Why am I? Why aren't I? If you build that culture around you of door knocking, it's not going to take away the suck. Cleo, it still sucks. But once you start cranking that money, you will never, ever second guess it. And in reality, you guys, my goal with anybody that's ever in anything that I do is not to have you knocking doors in 2 years. That's it. In fact, my goal with every person that ever works with me and does anything with me is not to be prospecting, period, in 2 years, but should be running a team underneath them in 2 years. So Trevor, if your mindset's not there, Kai, Taylor, if your mindset's not there, your goal is to, hey, I want to sell more real estate. You're thinking too small. Noah, you're brand new. Quit thinking so freaking small and say, hey, dude, I'm going to go crush this. And I'm going to have a team underneath me working for me. I'm going to be making $1 million+ a year off the growth that I have, not just because I'm a baller agent, but by the growth that I have. That's really what you guys should be thinking about. Okay, good question. Cleo, does that mean you're going to go start knocking doors? Do you need to have me as an accountability partner so you can text me every day to tell me how many doors you knocked? I'll do it.
Probably, yeah.
Dude, my number's all over the social media. It's my personal cell. In fact, I'll throw in this text group as well. But bottom line is, you guys, I'm here to help you guys succeed. And there is no better way for you to find success than to go out and do it. I just created a new course. It's the door-to-door pitch course. I went crazy in depth with that. It's 30+ pages. So if you guys want that, hit me up after. I can send you a link to it. I don't even know if it's on my website yet. But it's 30+ pages, and I go into all kinds of crazy detail about the real estate pitch. Okay, other questions? Guys, we still got 30 minutes. Use and abuse me. Cleo, is he jotting down my number? I see it. Good work, brother.
Duane, kind of a stupid question, but when I go out and door knock, I'm wearing one of those sweat-proof like Nike shirts, sweat-proof slacks. But at the door, I feel like it's kind of crazy. I'm over here in Phoenix. People are looking out at me. Should I be dressed differently?
You guys are gonna laugh. I had a guy that was associated with our program, and he would go out in a bow tie. Dino, if you're watching, brother, in California, I used to tease him so bad. I was like, dude, don't go out and knock in a suit. Don't go out and look like a salesman. Guys, you want to look like one of the neighbors. You want to look like, but you don't want to look like a slacker. What Trevor's wearing, what Cleo's wearing, dude, great. Just a button-up polo. That's all I care about. Now, if you're going to be a sweat fest, Fabian, then yeah, find something that don't look like you're freaking drenched. Get stuff that's breathable. I wore Nike dry fit stuff a lot, golf pants that have all the vents in them when it was really hot, and you look sharp and you look like you're headed out to golf. That's literally the persona that I want to portray, is that golf approach where I look nice, but I'm not looking like a salesperson.
A few weeks ago, we get door salesmen maybe once every couple of weeks here. A few weeks ago, I never opened the door. A few weeks ago, some kid came up. He looked like a college, high school kid. He was wearing shorts. He was in like all beige. And I didn't know if he was a salesman or not. So I opened the door to like check and see what he wanted. He was a pest control guy. But it just made me think, if he would have been wearing maybe like a lanyard, he looked kind of like a salesperson, maybe I wouldn't have opened the door. Does that microsecond count?
Yes. I never have my real broker name tag on. I never have a lanyard. In fact, what you have in your hands matters. What are you knocking with? Do you have an iPad? Do you have flyers? Do you have, guys, don't look like a salesperson. I don't knock with anything other than my cell phone. Right? If you're knocking with a binder, with a little, something like this, if you're knocking with something like this, even something like this, for you to take notes on and get data, you're a salesperson. Who in the world's knocking at your door with something like this if they're not trying to sell you something or collect data? How many of you guys want to answer that door? Look at Fabian. He's a jerk. He won't even open the door to people. But Fabian, be nice to people. Here's what you need to do. Recruit them to real estate, brother. Go build your team. If you're getting door knocks every 2 weeks, most of Americans, Canadians, are not getting door knocked very often. I've probably had maybe 10 a year, and I'm in a higher end neighborhood where people come and knock to try to make money. But bottom line is, dude, we don't get a lot of door-to-door people. So capitalize on that. And that's what I would tell you to do. The mindset, it needs to be huge, you guys. If you're, even Fabian, if you're getting one every 2 weeks, that means you're getting 24 people knocking on your door a year. And that's in a heavily knocked neighborhood. Think about this. You can go knock 24 doors in a day. In fact, you should be doing 50 plus. How big of an expert do we get at knocking doors compared to the person opening that door? Guys, we have such an advantage on them. And I'm going to tell you, there's only 6 objections. And there's only certain things they're going to say. They say the same thing over and over and over again. So once you learn how to overcome those objections, we can teach you that. Once you learn how to overcome them, it's a lay down. When I was knocking doors, it's been 7 years since I knocked doors, but I was picking up a listing every 7 doors. How'd you like it if you guys were converting at that ratio? So what you got to do.
You mean 7 contacts?
Every 7 doors that open the door, which would be a contact. Yep. I would pick up a deal. So if you can convert at that level and you know that's the case, why are you not putting in the effort right now to learn what people are going to say, how to counteract it, how to become skilled at it? It's like a batter. If you got one pitcher and once you learn all of his pitches, as soon as it leaves his hand, you know how you're going to hit it. You're going to crush that pitcher. That's why they change the pitchers up all the time in baseball. You guys are no different. When people get up to my door, I honestly feel like as soon as they're opening that door, they're stepping into my office for a listing consultation, buyer consultation, or investor consultation. I just got to see which topic they're going to pick. But they're ready to be closed. All they have to do is just give me time. If people will give you time, you should close in the 90th percentile. No questions asked. And the way you get that good, Trevor's by doing it consistently every day for 7 hours a day. Because the people will say the same thing over and over and over and over again. They're robots. They're not trained to say anything different. So that's why I always start with the standard questions. You guys all know my pitch from watching my YouTube channel. How many of you guys are on my YouTube channel? A couple of you. Cool. If you're not, Cleo, raise your hand, brother. If not, you better get on there. So first thing you're going to do is, hey, my name is Duane, work for Real Broker. Did we lose James? I was going to tease him about his realty path. He's gone. But from Real Broker, did your neighbor say he's going to stop by and see you? Or the market's crazy? Have you guys heard what home values are selling for in your neighborhood? You can choose whatever starter you want to use. Then the next thing is a question. You guys ever thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? What are most people going to say? Like 99% of them. No, it's like, no. And you know what's funny? I get these agents are like, oh, thanks, have a good day. And I was like, dude, you're going to really walk away from 99% of Americans or people? Dude, that's going to be a long day for you, long month for you. You're not going to sell much real estate. I want them to say no. And I expect 99% of them are going to say no every time. So what's your next question? Is this your forever home then? Guess how many people say no to that? Dude, if you're knocking the right neighborhoods, it should be 90% plus say, oh, no, we're not going to live in a condo for the rest of our lives. And if they do, man, those aren't your clients anyway. Can't fix stupid people. We don't want people who are going to be condo dwellers from the time they start their housing career to the time they end their housing career, right? That doesn't sound like a dream at all in my mind. So most people are going to tell you, no, this is not their forever home. So what did they just tell you? Cleo, dude, they just told you they were going to move without telling you they're going to move. So right then I start licking my chops going, dang it, this is going to be good. They just told me they want to move. How soon? That's my next question. So what's your time frame? Find out what their time frame is. Noah told me 2 years. Now I'm going to tell Noah he's stupid, but I'm going to do it through questions and tell him he needs to go buy now. And that's what you're doing with every one of your clients. Why 2 years? Noah says, I can't afford it. Well, Noah, can you afford to spend $41,000 more in 2 years if it's going to cost you $24,000 now? Well, that's really what I got to show you. Is it's cheaper to buy today with a high interest rate, save that $41,000 and refinance, than it is to wait for 2 years and lose all that savings. So now let me walk you through that process. If I could save you a bunch of money, would you guys consider it? That's my next question. Guys, it's just a series of questions. The minute they say yes to that, Carter, they're telling you, teach me. Teach me. So if you don't close them at that point, you screwed up. See how easy this is, you guys? Go ahead, Noah. You got something right there.
So after that point, whenever they say, yeah, like I'd be interested if you could show me how to do it. So like, I know like sometimes, you go into like, the market and kind of explaining like the interest rates and that. Is that kind of typically what you would do like every time, or would you just base it off what they say and just kind of go from there?
You've got to touch on two things every time. I don't care if you knock on that door and say, have you ever thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? And they go, oh yeah, for sure. We want to do that. It's so funny. I do that in role play. And guys, we're going to have a role play session here in 18 minutes with all of our guys that are in our role play group. Any of you guys that want to join, I'll let you join today. Just jump in there and see what it's like. But we role play for 30 minutes to an hour, twice a day, 5 days a week. And this is what gets you really, really sharp at this. But bottom line is, Noah, you've got to hit market. You've got to hit interest rates, because that is what's going to save them the money. And then they've got to understand it. So the first question you're going to ask is, hey, how well do you know the real estate market? Most of them are going to say, not very well, right? Let me just ask you this. Do you think it's going to go up or down in the next 2 years? And I'm going to use the number they said, because you've got to make it personal. Noah told me 2 years. I'm going to use 2 years. And then you take it right to them. If they say the market's going to go down, ask them why. And you should already know how you're going to respond regardless of what they say. Because remember, they're robots. They're going to say the same thing. Every time they're going to say the same thing. So you should know if they say the market's going to go down, what questions you're going to ask. They say the market's going to go up. You should know what questions you're going to ask. And if you already know the play ahead of them, guys, guess what? You're going to win every game. That's like James having the playbook of the opponent, right? They're lined up like this, dude. They're doing a draw. So I'll just move over my linebackers and dude, I'll stop that draw. That's easy, right? This is no different. You guys, this is just a door-to-door game. So if they say, hey, I think the market's going to crash, why do you think that? Well, our economy is horrible. You guys ever heard that on doors? How's our economy been the last 2 years? Good or bad? Well, not very good. What happened during the inflation? Cleo, what's happened with all the tariffs? Would that cause your market to go up or down?
No.
Man. So what do you think's happening with stuff like that happening? With our economy being nasty and people not wanting to buy real estate? Is now a good time to buy? How many people are sitting on the sidelines waiting? How many sellers are sitting there with their house on the sale because no one's buying because of the tariffs, because of the economy? So if houses are sitting on the market for a long time, what can you do as a buyer? How much can we negotiate? Guys, there's just lists of questions you can ask in a row based off of what they say. And then use what they say, use it against them, because the minute they tell you the market's going to go up, they can't tell you in 5 minutes it's going to crash. The minute they tell you that this is what's causing it to go up, they can't tell you, well, yeah, we probably shouldn't buy right now. It closes them based off what they tell you. And that's exactly what you want, is you want to close your clients based off of the direction they're taking the conversations. Super easy. Isn't it, Noah? Come on, super easy. We all should be closing 5 deals a month at least with this. Got a comment on Instagram. Money, lots for free. For those buyers that don't know if or understand why. And this is a mortgage guy throwing it out there, but that's the biggest thing, is people don't know why. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the direction they're headed. And that's why knocking on their door is what causes you to be able to close like crazy. Right? It's because you can help them understand why, when in Noah's mind, even personally, he's like, no, I'm not buying for a couple of years. Trevor, anybody out here, if you guys want to try out the role play group today, I'm going to go find the link for you right now and throw it in these chats. You guys can all jump on the role play group and see what it's like. Just see how important it is. But if you join my team, if you join my coaching, I believe so much in the role play that it's not a question. You need to role play twice a day. And if you're not in any of my programs, you need to role play twice a day. So find an accountability partner. Find someone that is going to help you get to where you're role playing consistently, nonstop. Because if you're not getting good, and people hate role playing with me, by the way, just FYI. I know everything that people would say, and I'm going to be your hardest person that you'll ever role play against. Every time I record it, and I take the role play and I play it back to you in a recorded setting. It's like, Noah, why did you ask this question? What were the next 3 questions you were going to ask? How was I going to respond? What was your tonality? And if you can get to where you're beating me consistently on role play, you're going to throttle homeowners. They won't even have the slightest clue. And it's all about just learning, the steps that you have to take to get where you need to be consistent and to be successful. And that's really what it boils down to. So if you're in my coaching group, if you're in my team side, you're in role play. It's just included in what we do. So in the chat, I just threw a Zoom link for role play. Guys are all welcome to join. We start here in 11 minutes. Okay, I'll throw this online as well. Other thoughts,
I-
guys? Yeah, go ahead. Someone started.
This is about just you personally. Where did you learn like question-based selling?
You're going to love this guy, Noah. So I have a medical degree. I was in medicine prior to, actually taught at Stanford, and helped develop some heart stuff to get rid of AFib or heart murmurs. And I had a buddy selling alarm systems for Vivint. And he kept making hundreds of thousands of dollars more than me every year. Kept calling me saying, "Hey, dude, how much you make this year?" And he'd rub it in my face that he was killing me, right? So he goes, "Give me one summer." Summer sales guy. He's doing this in 4 months. Give me one summer. And so I started knocking doors in East Palo Alto and selling alarm systems door to door. And when I went out, I didn't have any training. I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm like, if I'm going to get people to buy my product, I'd have to be sold the way I'd want to be sold. And I'm just like Fabian, dude. I'm a jerk to door guys. Except for I usually open the door, then I play with them, right? And beat up on them. And you know, I'm that jerk on the other side. But I was like, how would I have to close somebody? It's like questions. So I remember when I first went to my very first day, I went out with my manager. We got out in the area and he's like, "So you want to come watch me knock a couple doors?" No, here's the cocky side of Duane. He's like, "No, I got this. I'm going to outsell you today." Right. And he's like, "You don't want to watch a couple pitches to see what I'm saying or what I'm doing?" I was like, "No, I got this." And I literally went knocked on the first door. I laughed myself away from the doorstep. In fact, as I'm in the middle of my pitch, I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm new at this. Today's my first day. And I have no clue what I'm supposed to say to you right now. You totally just stumped me." And she started laughing. I started laughing. I walked away and I had it recorded. That's the next thing I'm going to tell you. Recording is huge. So I got to the edge of the driveway. I played it back. I was like, "Oh, you idiot. You missed this, this, and this. Go to the next door." And I did that consistently every day. My very first day, just so you know, Noah, I sold. I got a deal. But bottom line is you have to get consistent, make a game out of it, but you got to record yourself and listen to yourself. I laughed so hard at doing this. And you know, that's what taught me. So my daughter just came home from a church mission and I sent her out to sell fiber. You guys have probably seen some of the videos on YouTube that I posted, but we created a pitch for her. I've never sold fiber. I was like, let's just create this pitch. And she had the same mentality as I did because I've let her grow up around me, where she's going to be confident, she's going to be crazy, she's going to be aggressive. But she went out and she was the top producer in her office the very first week out of all of her managers and everybody else. But it was just her having that same mentality and having fun with it. She sold 65 fiber internet accounts in 2 weeks, made about 20 grand in 2 weeks selling internet door to door. And I've even toyed with the idea of teaching people real door-to-door sales in opening up like a fiber office and having you guys come out and train with me for 2 weeks and then take it back and do it on door-to-door for real estate. But teaching you the methodology behind the door-to-door sell. I don't care what it is you sell. If you'll go to door-to-door and do it the right way, you can't be stopped. You can't. It doesn't matter what the product is. Doesn't matter what the product is at all. But that's how I learned, is just learning. And when I started real estate, I didn't know anything about real estate. So I'm like, oh crap, if I'm going to buy a house myself, here's jerk Duane standing behind the door. What would I have to say to Duane to get him to listen long enough to convert and close a deal? And I recorded and then to walk away and think of more questions I should ask. So I built the question-based selling that I'm talking about. For me, I build it all myself. And it's just trial and error and then repetition. I have probably knocked 350, 500,000 doors and talked to that many people. And once you do that, that's what I'm saying, dude, it'll be fun to role play with you. I will get you down one path and I will spin it on you and make you go a completely different direction. I will eat you alive on the doors through role play. But once you get good at this, you will not be able to be stopped on doors. Cleo, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
So do you like, I'm not too super familiar with the queue system and whatnot. Like, do you believe in like follow up and like even getting the client's information if it's not like a current yes now and the farming, etc.?
So you guys are gonna laugh at this. My first 2 years, I didn't even keep a CRM. Trevor, there was no SOPs, Bubba. I mean, it was literally, if you don't close with me right now in front of your face, I don't need you. When I knocked on that door, if they didn't say they were ready to transact within the next 30, 60 days, if I couldn't get you to that point, you were dead to me. Because I didn't have time. I wanted to drive a car like Junior's. Look how big that sunroof is. So I needed to go big. I needed to go crazy. I needed to go win. And I didn't have time to wait. So if I'm going to go big and I'm going to win, I've got to convert now. Now I've repented. I'm going to tell you guys, don't do what I did. So Cleo, I want you to go after now business. And then you're going to put Trevor's follow-up systems in place with a VA and use my app and have them do all your follow-up for you. They're still dead to you. I don't want you to count on them. You're going out and finding new business, but someone else is still nurturing them. And I'm going to tell you, I lost a lot of deals. I'll be honest with you. There's lots of people I knocked on their door, and a month later, I'm going back through the neighborhood. The suckers were listed with somebody from Realty Path. Too bad he's not here. Still want to tease him more about that. But bottom line is, I missed him because I didn't follow up, but I converted them and got them thinking about selling and wanting to sell. I just didn't follow up. And I didn't care, because if I got so caught up in the follow-up like most real estate agents do, you don't close near as many deals. And people get so hung up in the follow-up thinking they have a big pipeline and a big business, they end up not selling very many homes. Now, I've had in my training programs and my systems, I've had multiple people who have closed a deal the same day they met them. The same deal, put them under contract, Cleo. So if you want money now, that can happen. I knocked on a lady's door, and I hate old people. I shouldn't say this online with everybody to hear this, but I hate old people because they have to talk to their kids. They have to make decisions. They can't make the decisions on their own. So they got to call their kids. They got to think about it. But I had this old lady. I shouldn't say old lady because she's a sweetheart, but I bet she's in her late 60s, 70s. I got her to buy a house same day that I met her. And I had her house under contract and had her house listed and under contract the very next day. So I got 2 transactions over $1 million in real estate within a day of meeting that person. Jeffrey, I wished he was on here right now. He picked up somebody last week in Georgia that within the first day they were out seeing houses. And he's already written offers and he'll have them under contract. But I've had many agents. I'm talking 5, 6 agents. And I'm not going to tell you you're going to put everybody under contract same day. So don't plan on that. But you should get everybody wanting to send you houses and get them into a pattern of looking at houses immediately. But I've had at least 6 to 10 agents that have put people under contract same day they met them within hours of meeting them. That's now business. Trevor, I'll post. I'm counting on people to get that out for me. They told me it would be out 2 months ago. But I had an appointment with them at 9 o'clock this morning to finish the publishing, and they didn't call. It's like, come on, people, you have my money. Let's get this going. So I'll throw it all over social media once we get it out there. But guys, jump in the role play. It's just going to be pure role play. All you guys have the link. Jump on a role play. Come see what it's like. And then if you want to figure out if, hey, this is a good fit for me, it's not. This whole training that I'm doing right now isn't to say, hey, dude, come join coaching, come join my team. It's literally to show you that you can convert. I have so many people on YouTube that reach out to me weekly that say, Duane, I just got my first deal door to door from what you're posting online. The only thing I'm here to tell you is if you want to go big, I have systems, I have structure, I have cost methods that you can jump into that will take you from where you're at to a whole new level of income if it's something you're interested in. And there's all kinds of different methods. But you can start it with even just buying that pitch course and see what that does for you. But you'll see the role play is pretty sick. And getting consistent at that and getting those reps in is huge for people. So, Fabian, dude, you're making my head big. And yes, Sunil, shoot me a text. Guys, I'm not going to follow up on the chat list. Shoot me a text. I'm going to give you my phone number, so guys, get ready. And Sunil, I can send you the app today. The app's up and running. I'll send you a couple free months just so you guys can use it, try it out, because I've got to debug any systems that are bad in there with the app developers. So my phone number is 801-243-4544. And I'll throw you guys a couple free months so you can go give me some feedback of what needs to change, what needs to be better, and more user-friendly for you guys. But jump off right now. Jump in the role play. You guys all have the link. You seeing that? But I appreciate you guys taking time today to be on. And I look forward to you guys getting that next level with us and really just cranking and building a massive business that's going to take care of you. So anything else I can do, please reach out and let me know. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you being on today.
Thank you.